What is up YouTube? Welcome back to another video. I'm Benny with Plants, Fitness, and Friends, and today I'm really excited because I'm introducing my new food series, Veganized Food from around the world. So today we're going to be taking a dive into some Vietnamese food. I'm going to be showing you two recipes that, as far as I know, are essential and quintessential to Vietnamese cuisine. I'm going to be taking them and veganizing them from their usual versions. So the first recipe I'm going to be showing you today is the Vietnamese Bahn mi. So the Bahn mi is a Vietnamese sandwich that is classically made with pork and pate, which is a liver. And I'm going to be using tofu. Other than the pork and the pate, we're going to be sticking mainly to what the Vietnamese Bahn mi originally is made with in terms of herbs and vegetables. And before we get into actually constructing the sandwich, we're going to be pickling some things, quick pickle. We're going to be marinating some things. So let's get to that right now. Alright guys, so I just showed you our quick pickling process here. We have some daikon radish, some carrots, some cucumber, and some jalapeno. I did cut up the cucumber in both round slices and in sticks. And the sticks are going to be better for what we're making in the second recipe, but for this Bahn mi, the circles will be better for putting it on the sandwich. And for the pickling process, you're going to want to do about a half teaspoon of salt per 3 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar. And it will depend how much rice wine vinegar you need based on the quantity of vegetables that you cut up. You don't need to cover the vegetables completely with rice wine vinegar, but you do want them to be partially submerged, and when you shake it around, everything will kind of get touched so that during the pickling process, it will all pickle. So now that we've got the other vegetable pickling, we just did set up this marinade here. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to let the tofu marinate for 15 minutes after getting it all touching the marinade itself by flipping it over, by moving it around like we showed you. And then while that stuff is marinating for 15 minutes, we're going to set the oven to 425 to toast the French baguette that we got. Alright, so we've just put the French baguette in for 10 minutes, and now we're going to saute up the tofu. Alright guys, so we got that tofu cooked up. The marinade turned out to be so good, and I'm so excited to make the sandwich right now. We got all our ingredients right here. We're gonna get going.
Yeah.
Alright guys, we just finished constructing that sandwich. It looks incredible and I'm so excited to eat it right now. I'm gonna take a couple bites and I'll be back with you in a minute to go over the second recipe, which is the Vietnamese rice wrap, or otherwise known as a spring roll, same thing. Alright guys, so we just finished eating that sandwich and seriously it was incredible. I almost like it as much or maybe more than the Italian sub that I made the other day, and I really love Italian subs. The only thing I would say is that you should put more sauce than I did. We were kind of low on mayo, and if there was a little more, I think it would have been a little bit better, but even with a little bit of mayo, it was still really good. I'm just saying, if you have access to more mayo and hoisin sauce, then you should use it. So before we get into the second rice wrap recipe, I wanted to show you the ingredients before we go, because some of these ingredients you can't really get at your regular grocery store. You're probably gonna have to go to an Asian market. There are Asian markets near most places, so I don't think that should be a problem. And if you don't have an Asian market nearby, you can definitely order this stuff online. I know that's a little out of your way, but it's really good what we're gonna make, and having this stuff around to make things with usually is probably a really good idea because there are a lot of things that you can make with these items. So I'm gonna start on this side over here. We do have a block of organic tofu that's super firm. This stuff is from Trader Joe's. They sell it for pretty cheap, and per block of this there's actually 70 grams of protein. So that's like the highest protein content of any block of tofu that I know of, and it's really good to use, really easy to get a lot of protein from it, obviously. And we just use this in the banh mi recipe as well, another block of it, and this is pretty much my favorite tofu to use in most recipes, pretty much because of the protein content. Now over here we have rice vermicelli noodles. We got these from our local Asian market. They're pretty much just thin, clear noodles that are really good filler for these rice wraps. If you don't have these, you can use regular rice, white rice or brown rice, but this is a lot better in my opinion. It goes a lot better in these wraps. Over here we have spring roll wrapping paper. This is also just pretty much the rice wrap itself. It's kind of sticky when you put it in water, like we'll show you in a little bit. We also got this from our local Asian market. Again, if you don't have a local Asian market, you can definitely find these online. And moving over here, these are the things that we're going to be putting in our wraps besides the tofu. And we have this mango here, any mango will do, an avocado that we're gonna chop up. We have the pickled vegetables from earlier. You don't have to use pickled vegetables. You could just use regular cucumber, regular daikon, regular carrots, regular jalapenos. You don't need to have these things pickled, but because we already have them pickled, and like we showed you, you can do a really quick pickle really easily. But again, if you don't have that, you could just use it raw. And over here we have cilantro and mint, and that's also just gonna go as another filler in there as it is. Alright guys, so we just finished up making that wrap and eating that wrap, and it was super good. So this second recipe is definitely a little bit healthier, and there's a lot of variation that you can add. You don't have to do just this. You can really add whatever you want or subtract whatever you want. You don't have to add mango. The mango I think is a little better with a less sweet sauce, so like the peanut sauce would be a little better for the mango. Whereas without the mango, the other sauce is really good. And even with it, depending on how sweet you make it, it can be really good too. One thing that we didn't show and that we don't have right now, but that's really good with this recipe as well, is if you use romaine lettuce leaves. You can just buy a head of romaine and take a leaf off and put the rice wrap in the middle of the leaf and roll the leaf up and dip it like that. That's also really, really good. It's really good either way, but that does add a nice crunch and a little bit of hydration to the meal. But yeah guys, that's everything for me today. I hope you enjoyed these two recipes. I really, really enjoyed making them as well for you here. I hope you learned something. If you try them, please let me know what you think in the comments below. And yeah, so I'm planning on posting one video per week of this food series, the Veganizing Food from Around the World series. I have a lot of ideas for it, a lot of different countries in mind, so I really hope you'll stay tuned for those. Also, if you guys do have any requests for certain recipes or certain cuisines from around the world that you want to see veganized and that you think would be interesting or challenging, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm always open to new ideas like that, and I think it would be really cool to hear from you guys what you think. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more content from me, please subscribe. I am planning on posting 2 videos per week, one of which will now be this Veganizing Food series around the world. So if you're interested in that or interested in any of my other content, I hope to see you in the next one.